This is The Spot, a BYU-Idaho radio production where we talk about what you talk about at BYU-Idaho. Today we are here with
Savannah McCauley,
Abrielle Millet,
Grace Andrus.
Abigale Maxfield.
Awesome. And today we're talking about scores, film scores, TV scores, video game scores.
Yeah. Don't forget the video games. They got some cool ones.
Scores.
Mm-hmm. You should keep a tally of the amount of times you say score.
Scores.
All kinds of them.
We just start like 4 score in 7 years. Yeah, I'm so stoked about this topic. Anybody that knows me knows I was a band kid in high school, and that I'm just like all about scores. We would play a few in band, and I was just like my jam. And I know Abrielle and I have had a conversation about this, and she's got some cool perspectives, especially from like a film standpoint. And Savannah, oh my gosh, I'm so stoked to have you on because you are our radio person for this. Like, you're the person who knows about this and does it on the radio. Sorry, I was like really poorly constructed.
The perfect score person.
Yeah, the perfect score person. Yeah, do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so The Perfect Score is a show on our station, and it's all about movie music. So literally what we're talking about today on The Spot, and it's all kinds of fun facts about movies and also about the scores behind and who did the scores, who composed them, all kinds of stuff. So I have a lot of random knowledge about movie music and movie things. So it's really fun. But yeah, we talk about all kinds of scores, not just movies. We talk about video game music as well.
Yeah.
And it's always really fun to talk about and learn more about because I feel like that's part of my knowledge that I definitely didn't have before working at the station. So yeah.
Which is awesome because I don't know anything about scores. Obviously, I can hear them because I watch movies, but like I don't know all the things. Like you guys were talking about how some composers have like little things about them that you can recognize.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know. I also love music that I can sing to because I like that's always fun.
Yeah.
And so like I know scores that have words, like Disney movie scores and such.
So actually, fun fact though about that. So if you have a score that has lyrics and things like that, a lot of times they're referred to as soundtracks because they're not just the score, but they also include music that has lyrics.
So I'm a soundtrack lover.
You're a soundtrack lover.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and sometimes those soundtracks are, composed by the same composer. They just also have a lyricist as well. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Especially like older Disney ones, like
For
Alan
sure.
Menken does like the score, but he also does the soundtracks, and so it's like
A popular one would be Phil Collins. He did a lot of
Mhm.
things where he also performed, as
Yeah.
well. So,
Okay, well, I'm learning a lot already.
yeah,
2
absolutely.
minutes in, and here we are.
Yeah, I think the question I kind of wanted to start off with was the just like recently I feel like especially TV and film scores have kind of made like this kind of bigger splash like on social media, like How to Train Your Dragons like coming back around like song made like this massive, it was like a hugely used sound on like TikTok and Instagram, and there's been like some Interstellar soundtracks that are used as like, and they're used like to over dramatize like funny videos kind of a thing, but because of that they're becoming like more familiarized in the media and with the public. And so I guess I'm just like branching like tangentially from that is just like, do you think that music really like adds that much to the movie experience? Because I like love it, so I'm gonna be like, yeah, but I guess I'm just curious where people are like, well, maybe, or it depends, or I don't know. What are your guys' thoughts?
So I would say you can see a huge difference, and I'll point out a movie that doesn't have a big score, and it will help you really just get that in your head.
Mm-hmm.
A Quiet Place.
Mm-hmm.
So think about how strange the audience might feel without that music. And they feel very uncomfortable, like it's more real and more like immersive sometimes. And so they actually did that really well in that film. They took away that music and helped people to really feel that creepy, eerie vibe really quickly.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are very uncomfortable when there's not that kind of music behind the scenes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think going off kind of like what you said, does it make a difference? Because I think it does, because like she said, you'll notice when it's not there,
Mm-hmm.
but the the music definitely helps the visuals, but it's usually not supposed to overpower it, which I think is why maybe certain people wouldn't notice it at first, or for movies such as The Quiet Place, they wouldn't really want as much music. But it's definitely a lot more in movies than we think.
Mhm.
I think about it a lot more just because, like, when you make student films, it's really hard to find music because you don't have any, like, rights to anything.
Yeah.
But for big movies and things, like, they create soundtracks specifically for films and certain things to really play in them. And that's, like, a big part of setting, like, the mood. If you've seen those trailers, they'll change the score behind it, and it completely changes the vibe. So I think it does kind of impact it a lot.
Yeah.
Very music driven.
It'll be like a scene
Yes.
from like a horror movie, and then they'll play like some like fun 80s jam and behind it, and it like makes it feel almost playful, and you're like, whoa, like this is completely different.
Yes. Well, I was thinking there's like this not new, I guess. It's just an Instagram trend where they're like editing My Family Vacation like it's a reality TV, like
Oh, yeah.
dramatic, whatever. And it's literally just audio that they're adding to it that's making it be like, oh, and then she said this, and this.
Yeah.
But then I was also thinking, like, growing up, when I would watch a scary movie that was too scary, I would just turn the volume all the way down, and then it wasn't that bad. So I feel like music really does add this suspense and adds so much. Like,
Mm.
I also saw a video, maybe I'm online too much, but there's a video that was like in the Star Wars movie, oh man, Revenge of the Sith, when Anakin like turns.
Mhm.
And it's like every time Obi-Wan's on the screen, they play Sexy Back.
Oh.
Totally changed the vibe. Like that movie is like really dramatic, right? Like
Yeah.
Anakin's like murdering people.
Yeah.
But then it's like Sexy Back. Anyways, so I think music totally adds, even though I'm not even like a score connoisseur,
Yeah.
you know? But
Yeah.
anyways.
Yeah, I think it's one of those things where I feel like I think like Abrielle just brought up a good point. Like it's in there more than you realize. Like especially and like just I'm just gonna double back to like How to Train Your Dragon. There's like the scene where he's like looking to find like the downed dragon. He's like, is it still here? Because like you didn't fly away. Like anyway, so he's like looking for Toothless, and then he finds him, and then all of a sudden he like comes up in front of him, and there's like this really large like sound effect that's like like with the strings, and it's just like really intense because it's supposed to be kind of jumpy. But it's interesting because then you go and you listen to the soundtrack, and it's like at the very beginning of the song there's like this really loud like string crescendo, and you're just like, oh, I didn't really think that would be like part of the song, but it is actually like the entrance of the song. Like it begins that song and then the rest of the song plays out. So it's really interesting how even some of the sound effects that are used in film are actually just incorporated into the score instead of like being a separate like track. Does that make sense?
Or have you ever like listened to a track and just like you can just hear what's going on? Like you can just feel like Thomas Newman for his like Finding Nemo and Finding Dory. Like
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I can hear the
Yes.
ocean, like the fish swimming. Like it's very
Mhm.
like it sounds like it, and it's not
Yeah.
literally in the waters.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm glad
Yeah.
you said that because that reminds me of when Frozen first came out and
Mm.
like the scene where they're singing Do you want to build a snowman?
Yeah.
And then it cuts to the scene of the parents dying in the boat.
Oh,
You know
yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And like when you listen to that song, you like obviously you have no visuals to it, but you can like feel it. Like you can feel the dramatic of the boat capsizing and the thunderstorm and all those things. So I think you can. Like you just are like back in it. Or the one from How to Train Your Dragon.
Yeah.
I get emotional when that plays.
It's so good.
and it's just on
so
like
good.
on all my songs and it
Yeah.
plays and I'm just like
Yeah.
Music is what feelings sound like. I've heard that so many times, and it's so true, though.
I'm
Like,
writing that down.
it is so true. It is definitely not my own original quote.
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
I've heard it many times, and I feel like it is so true because you watch something without the music, and it's just like, where'd the feelings go?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just
Yeah.
feels like things are really missing, you know?
Yeah, I just wanted to like circle back to Abrielle's question because I just loved it, like where you can see like actual images almost. And I think Howard Shore did a really good job of that for Lord of the Rings. Because there are times where I'm like, you can feel like the battle, like you're like, these are the war drums, like these, like this is the clash of like the armies, or like this is the peaceful meadow, or like this is the ethereal elven town, like all these things. And I just think, for me personally at least, like that is like the criteria for what marks something as a good score, is if it can like evoke the images of the film or the piece of media, right? The video game, the TV show that it is for. Like, to me, I'm like, that's it. I'm like, this is the money shot right here.
So one thing I noticed recently, and it's from the Project Hail Mary
Mm-hmm.
compositions, which was Daniel Pemberton, by the way, if you don't know,
Oh,
really
that's
good.
awesome.
But we were talking a little bit how we can visualize these things just by the music, right? And so one thing that Daniel Pemberton did was he actually brought in these like really organic instruments.
Hmm.
And what I mean by that is he literally used people like slapping their bodies as percussion. So he actually like recorded a bunch of people slapping different parts of their bodies instead of using actual drums,
Hmm.
because he wanted to bring that earth-like feel, even though the whole movie's in space.
Yeah, yeah.
And he wanted
Mm.
people to like really feel that energy because of the alien that's in the film and how he reacts and things like that. And
Yeah.
so I thought that was really cool. And so a lot of composers will do that. They'll pick very unique instruments or things that don't seem to be instruments to bring in those familiar sounds without people even realizing what's going on,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they use like sometimes they use like special techniques. I once saw an interview with Hans Zimmer where he was just talking about how, in order to get like different instrument sections featured, he would put them higher, like like the box seats. He would like record them playing in like this big auditorium and put a certain section like in the boxes, like on the immediate wings of the stage. And he talked about how like that gave them like this different kind of resonance because they were like physically higher up. So I think you make a really good point, Savannah. I'm just like, yeah, they get so creative, they use such awesome techniques. Yeah, I'm just always blown away. I'm like, how are you thinking of this?
What do you mean? You slapped his arm.
Yeah.
And you used that
They did.
in like one of the greatest films I've seen in so long. I love Project Hail Mary.
It's so good.
For so many reasons, including the score.
And when I was studying it, because we got it in for my episode,
Mhm.
and so we get our songs like really quickly when they're in the theaters.
That's
And I
awesome.
started listening to it, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to go watch this now.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
before like anything else, I need to go see this movie, and I did that night. Like
Oh, heck yeah.
after I started listening to the compositions, I was like, boom. That night I went to the movies with my husband and watched it because it was so good.
That's
But
awesome.
yeah, the whole score is amazing, and Daniel Pemberton just did a wonderful job with it.
Yeah. Do you guys have do you guys have scores that are like your favorites, like you go back to over and over, or like ones that maybe like, even maybe for Grace, where she's like, oh, I don't like listen to it in my free time, but like it was memorable enough like during the viewing experience? Like, I don't know.
I think for me, like my favorite is the film score from The Theory of Everything. That is
Mhm.
something like I've only seen the movie once,
Yeah.
but I've like always listened to that soundtrack, especially like for studying sometimes.
Yeah.
It's by Johansson,
Mhm.
and it's really good. Like all the soundtrack, the score of it is super well done. I just love it because it feels like creativity. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yeah. I haven't even seen that movie and I like love that score. Like, it's like you said, it feels like creativity in like us, like in audio form. Like, I
Yeah.
don't know. It's just like such a unique soundtrack too.
What is this movie?
It's The Theory of Everything.
Hmm.
It's about
I haven't
Stephen
seen it.
Hawking.
Either.
Yeah, it's
right?
about Stephen Hawking's
Huh.
Is it
Life.
newer?
No.
no, like 2016,
Oh.
Yeah.
Huh.
but it's a pretty good movie.
Yeah, has Eddie
but-
Redmayne in it.
And I forgot what her name is, but she was in Rogue One.
Oh, Felicity Jones?
Yeah, she plays his wife.
I just
Oh,
met
yeah.
a girl today named Felicity Jones.
Oh, that's crazy.
That's crazy.
And her
What?
professor was like, why do I know that name? And she's like, well, there's an actress from Rogue One.
Oh, okay, I get it now.
Okay, well, I'm adding the theory of.
Yeah.
The Theory of Everything.
I'm adding that to my list.
It's super good.
And the soundtrack.
So
Yeah.
good.
The whole actually,
Not the
I don't
soundtrack,
think there
the
is any
score.
soundtrack. Like there's
The
no
score.
music with words.
Yeah.
It has a lot of piano
Yeah.
in it, but
It
it's
does.
super pretty. It's pretty awesome. I
It's
I
a great
think-
study soundtrack.
Yeah. I think something else is there's a lot more scores than we think because every fandom movie you can think of
Mhm.
has like scores and different themes and
Yep.
motifs that they do.
Oh yeah.
Like even Marvel, Star Wars, like
Mhm.
Oh yeah.
Pirates of the Caribbean, like all of those I feel like easily are fun to listen to. Very exciting, you know?
Very exciting. And it's funny how they can excite you with just the smallest amount of notes.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you know, Jaws. John Williams with Jaws, like 2 notes.
Mhm.
And everyone was like, what's going on?
Yeah, like I'm
You
on
know?
edge.
And even the director was just like, what are you doing with these 2 notes? And he's like, hang on, just wait a minute.
He's like, let me cook.
Just let me cook for a second. John Williams knows what he's doing, man. Like, he's done so many wonderful, iconic movies, and I think a lot of people forget he did Jaws as well, you know?
Yeah.
Like, so many iconic movies.
Didn't
Yeah,
you
he
do Jurassic Park?
Yep, Jurassic Park,
Jurassic Park.
all
Indiana
the Star Wars,
Jones.
Indiana Jones,
The first couple Harry
Potter.
Potters.
Yep. Jaws, of course, like we were
E.T..
saying. E.T.
Didn't you do
Yep.
that one?
Yeah.
It's cool too that like, at least from my perspective, because I recently found out I'm a soundtrack lover more than a score lover. Even though like I have seen all those movies, when I hear their score, I know exactly like what that's pulling from and what movie and the feeling that it creates because I love the movies. It's just so cool that feelings can be created or even like guided through music. Because you guys are right. Like if they took the the scores, if they took the scores off of film, I don't think it would impact us that much. It wouldn't pull emotionally
No.
as much
Yeah.
as it does with a good score.
It's very true. And honestly, there's like every single composer has something, you know, and we were talking a little bit about this earlier, but they always have something that's really iconic to them.
Yeah.
And I feel like when you talk about all those John Williams scores, you think about those really big brass sounds.
Oh, really
Right?
big brassy sounds.
He's always into that brass sound. But then there's other composers that are very different, like Danny Elfman. He's my favorite. And he does a lot of like percussion and a lot of like mystical sounds with like bells and those
Yeah.
types of xylophones and things like that.
Yeah.
It's a very different feel, but so iconic still, and you just remember it. you know?
Yeah. And Hans Zimmer does like those really deep, low, like resonant, like bassy sounds and like uses like more synthy influences in his scores. And yeah, it's so interesting how they all have like almost like their own like signature that you can like just kind of tell. And it's interesting too because like these like certain directors will work with the same composers like over and over again, and I think it's because they like kind of are like, yeah, like your sound resonates with my art kind of a thing, and
Yes.
so then it kind of creates this like really awesome pairing, like Christopher Nolan and Hans Zimmer, or like Tim Burton and Danny Elfman, and anyways, and so there's just things like that where sometimes they just like repeatedly work together, just like certain directors and certain actors do. So it's really interesting how that like dynamic works. Yeah.
It's so cool. And I think my favorite duo is Danny Elfman and Tim Burton, but I think it's because they're both so unique and
Mhm.
their style just works really well. We talk a little bit about like how composers come to be with directors, and I want to mention this one because it's kind of a funny story. If you know anything about Danny Elfman and Tim Burton, you might be surprised to know that Danny Elfman actually started out as a singer for
Mhm.
Oingo Boingo. If
Yeah.
you didn't know that. And so it's funny because Tim Burton was like, hey, I see this like rock star. And I'm like, no, actually, you're a composer.
Yeah.
And so I think it's really funny because Tim Burton was like, Danny Elfman, no, come here. And now Danny Elfman's all about composing and is a completely different person, an award-winning composer, and has composed over 1,000 movies at this point. Or not 1,000, 100 movies at this point, which is really cool. Yeah. So anyway, it's interesting to see where they come from out of the mix, you know?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I wonder how that feels when you are Tim Burton and you have this story you're trying to portray and this like emotion you're trying to like convey and pull out of people. And someone's like, hey, I can do this soundtrack for you, and they do it so well. I wonder, like, I feel like as a director, you would just feel so understood. You'd be like, they get it.
Yeah,
get
like
it.
so validated
Yes.
and yeah.
Like these like iconic duos that you were listing, I'm sure that when they found out that they were such a good match and that they were communicating the same thing, I'm sure that was just like, we need to stick together forever.
Yeah.
Forever.
Every single project.
Your mind don't go anywhere.
You're coming home with me.
Yeah. I think it's just so impressive how they can like just evoke that emotion. Like one of my favorite scores is Treasure Planet.
Yes.
And James Newton Howard did that one, and you can like one of my favorite, there's so many good songs. Like Spaceport's great, but one of my favorite ones is when like at the very end of the film when like Silver the cyborg is like leaving, like he's just like going off and Jim's like, "You're going?" And it just has like you just listen to the song and you hear the title and you're just like, you can like literally feel your heartstrings being like pulled taut. You're like, oh my gosh, like this is actually so sad. Like, and you're like, he's just a misunderstood villain. Like, anyways, and you're like trying to like justify it. And it's just one of those things where like I listen to it and I'm just like, oh my gosh. And I'm just like every time, and not that I like cry, but I am overwhelmed with the emotion and it's like just the song. And I'm just like, this is immaculate. But then like the rest of the score is like exciting and like new technology and space and like space pirates. And so there's like, it's just such a dynamic thing. So I just agree with you that like I bet the directors feel understood because they're like, I want this to be an adventure, but I want it to also be just a little bittersweet. And it's just like, I feel like it's just encapsulated so well.
And how as a composer do you do that?
Yeah.
They're like, yeah, I just want it to feel a little bit bittersweet. And they're like, perfect.
Say
I
less.
got you.
Got it. I've got it. I was just going to say, from, again, my perspective, which is like, right, I just learned soundtrack versus score, right? Okay. But the only, like, my favorite score, I'm using this correctly, is from Tron Legacy, because it's Daft Punk.
Yeah.
And it's all very awesome. And it's like, and it, even though it's not as like emotional and deep emotions it's pulling, I mean, there's a couple of songs that do pull that, it still like makes you feel whatever I feel like they're feeling in the movie, like the characters of the fast speed biking and trying to save the world and like all those things.
Yeah.
So I love Daft Punk because of that. And that's why I love the Tron Legacy movie so much. But anyways, it's cool because I was sitting here like, oh, I don't know. Now that I'm like, I just like soundtracks. I don't even know.
Yeah.
But I think the Tron Legacy score, even though it's not strings and pianos, it's still awesome, you know? So it's just cool.
There's
Sorry, I was just gonna say, I think that's a great example of a score that like really is like encapsulating the world that it's in. Like it sounds techno and it sounds like
yes.
high tech and synthy because
It's like a video game.
he's inside a video game, right? And
Yeah.
like inside circuits and on a board, like a circuit board, and so it's just like I think that was like a masterpiece of like a soundtrack or a score because it's like it's just like, yo, like you can like see it. You're like, yeah, like red versus orange.
Yeah.
Or orange versus blue.
Orange versus
Red
blue.
versus orange. I'm like,
We're
they're
all-
all just orange and red.
We're all on motorbikes and we throw frisbees at each
Yeah,
other.
we throw-
And it's awesome.
It's so cool. I there's another score that popped into my head when you were talking about how that really brings you into it, into the scene, into the movie itself. And the one that I thought about was from Stranger Things. Like
Mhm.
the people that they got for Stranger Things and the score behind it really just immerse you into the 80s like immediately. You know what I mean? And it's so cool to hear those synths, those things that they bring into the music to bring you into that era. Like it's really interesting. They found a rock group actually and decided to turn them into their composers for the show, and it worked really well, I feel like.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I just love scores. I feel like I could literally talk about them for forever.
Score.
Yeah, score. Okay, so Grace talked about Daft Punk. I talked about Treasure Planet. Abrielle talked about The Theory of Everything. What's your favorite, Savannah?
My favorite score is probably that's a really hard question because I talk about scores all the time, but one of them is probably Beetlejuice
Oh, nice.
because it's so funny. Danny Elfman actually like he brought this score to the people playing the score, right? And they started playing it and they're like, this is impossible to play. Like they were like, no, you're not allowed to make us play this because everything's on the offbeat, not on the onbeat.
Yeah.
And so it took them a long time, like these professional musicians, to learn how to make or to actually put that music into physical form. Well, not physical, but you know what I mean, into the form, into the airs, right?
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
it's cool too because they did the sequel not too long ago, and you can hear that the original score is still there, but he changed it and made it even cooler for the times that it's at now. And so it's really cool to see how he, the same composer, changed over so many years and what he decided to do with the same kind of composition. It's really interesting.
Yeah. It is super interesting. It's just so good. It's so good. And we didn't even talk about video games that much, but like I think like a really iconic score for video games is like Halo, which is just like appropriately brings like the gravity of like that game series. Like this is humanity's last hope, like we have to
Yeah.
save them. And it's and it's like one of the most iconic like songs. Like all you have to do is do like what Grace and everybody's like, oh, like we all just want to jump in and like
Everyone.
you get into an echoey space and you're like, this would be perfect to sing Halo.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah. But yeah, so there's so many good ones and I just love it. So I think just like as a departing like invitation, like well, first of all, we want to just plug that you should listen to The Perfect Score. So Savannah, do you want to give
Yes.
us the details for that?
Tell them.
Yeah, so the perfect score is on KBYI 94.3 FM, and it is every Friday and Saturday night at 7. So if you want to learn more facts about movies or more about composers and what they do in the background and interesting things about it, that's the perfect score. And I'm the host. I've been the host for 3 years now, I
That's
think. So
awesome.
That's
it's
so
really
cool.
fun. So it's a cool show.
Yeah, so tune in. We're plugging it right now. And then I think just like the last thing is like what if you were to go tell somebody, you can pick your favorites if you want, but what would you like tell somebody to like, what score would you go tell them to like listen to if you were like, hey, here's a good like intro score to like get into if you're interested in like listening?
I was gonna ask this question because I was like, I feel like I need exposure, but not like, "Ugh,
Yeah.
here's this really complex score that's kind of hard to like. Just kidding.
Yeah. I can go first just because I already have one in mind. But there's an anime called Frieren Beyond Journey's End, and I push that one on a lot of people because it's like adventure friendly esque, but it's also kind of like medieval esque, and so it's just like a really fun score to listen to, and it's just like really pretty. So
Okay, cool. What is it?
it's called Frieren.
Frieren.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Do you guys have one? Because I have.
Well, I don't know if it's an easy one. It's just a newer movie that I saw that I enjoyed, like the film score, The Boy and the Heron, has like really good music in it, and it has really good motifs.
Mm-hmm.
Like it has like a theme that it keeps playing throughout the whole film score, and it's just really pretty. Some of the songs are kind of intense, but the other ones are pretty like calm.
Yeah.
But that's a fun one.
Which is really cool. The funny thing is, what I was going to say was Joe Hisashi, who does all of
Yeah.
Studio Ghibli.
Yeah.
And so I feel like you start with any of his and you're going to love it. Like
Mhm.
he's got all kinds of wonderful films in the Studio Ghibli that he's done and composed. And every single one of them has kind of simple instruments, but also is used in a way that just really brings those emotions in. Even if you haven't seen the films, like they're so good.
Yeah, they're so good. And a lot of them I feel like are pretty easy listens. So, because they're just like, oh, this is like a fun melody.
It would also be like a fun way to get introduced to a film is through the soundtrack
Mhm.
before even seeing it.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially because they're a little more abstract, like the films.
Yeah.
Yeah. So super cool.
That'd be cool. I don't have any recommendations, honestly, but I really like the movie Fall Guy, and they have "I Was Made for Love." They play that song throughout the entire movie, like lightly for piano and like more
Mhm.
actiony, and so I recommend the movies. I'm sure the soundtrack is great, but yeah. Okay, so our next episode will be the first in our 4-part series about things we wish we knew before moving to Rexburg. So we'll talk about parking, apartments, weather, cars, roommates, grocery shopping, all the things. But yeah, so thank you guys again for being on The Spot. You've been listening to The Spot, a production of BYU-Idaho Radio. Today's hosts were
Savannah McCauley.
Abrielle Millet.
Grace Andrus.
And Abigail Maxfield.
The views and opinions of this podcast are not that of BYU-Idaho Radio or the university and are solely the opinions of the hosts. Our theme music is Finding Happiness by DJ Quads and The Perpetual Ticking of Time by Artificial Music. To listen to more episodes of The Spot, visit our website byui.edu/radio and click podcasts. Follow us on social media at BYUI_The Spot, and be sure to subscribe to The Spot podcast wherever you get your podcasts. Have a topic in mind? Leave us a comment and let us know what we should talk about next. Thanks for listening. Bye.